They didn't notice it at first. They thought you were just another person trying to survive, trying to fit into a world that doesn't reward authenticity. But over time, something shifted. They started to see how every time chaos showed up in your life, you didn't collapse, you adapted. You didn't panic, you calculated. You didn't beg, you built. That's when the fear quietly started creeping into their minds. You were never fragile, you were patient. You were never lost. You were gathering data. While others complained about circumstances, you studied them. While others waited to be rescued, you trained yourself to become the rescue. And when they finally realized this, it shook the entire narrative they had created about you. People get comfortable when they believe they understand you. They get even more comfortable when they believe they are above you. But the moment they saw you solve problems that crushed others, the moment they watched you turn pain into strategy, their confidence collapsed. That's when they started feeling small around you. This is why your silence was always louder than their words. You didn't announce your strength, you demonstrated it. And now they can't breathe because they know something they can never unsee. You are not average. You are not controllable. You are a force. If this resonates with your own journey, don't just watch. Become part of this movement. Subscribe to Mirror of the Soul and stay connected to the truth that was always meant to wake you up. Have you ever noticed how people change once they realize you're stronger than they thought? Most people let trauma turn them bitter. You let it turn you brilliant. Every betrayal taught you how humans operate. Every disappointment sharpened your intuition. Every moment you were underestimated gave you more time to build without being watched. While others used pain as an excuse to stop, you used it as data to upgrade. Psychology calls this post-traumatic growth, the phenomenon where adversity rewires the brain to become more resilient, more aware, more adaptable. But what you did went beyond resilience. You became strategic. You learned when to speak, when to move, when to wait. You learned how to read energy, patterns, and intentions. That's why people feel uneasy around you now. You see what they don't say. You sense what they try to hide. You calculate outcomes before they even finish their sentence. To them, it feels like you're always 3 steps ahead, and that's terrifying. Your past didn't weaken you. It programmed you into a high-level problem solver, and deep down, they know it. You don't have to say anything to make them uncomfortable. You just exist. Your calm under pressure disrupts people who rely on chaos. Your clarity threatens people who survive on confusion. Your independence unsettles people who manipulate through dependency. You don't react the way they expect, and that destroys their sense of control. Energy never lies. When someone walks into a room with unresolved fear, insecurity recognizes power instantly. That's why certain people become passive-aggressive around you. That's why they suddenly try to compete. That's why they talk behind your back. They are trying to regulate their own nervous system in your presence. They feel exposed. You don't need to accuse them, your awareness already does. This is the hidden cost of becoming self-aware. The more you master yourself, the more uncomfortable you make people who refuse to face themselves. And they call it arrogance, when really it's just self-possession. When a crisis hits, most people freeze. You analyze. When others look for someone to blame, you look for the pattern. When others drown in emotion, you turn it into a solution. This is not luck. This is mental conditioning born from surviving what should have destroyed you. High-level thinkers don't avoid problems, they absorb them, decode them, and neutralize them. That's what makes you different. You don't need ideal conditions to perform. You create clarity inside chaos. That's why people secretly watch you. They may not admit it, but they study how you move, how you decide, how you recover. Because you do something most people can't. You remain powerful even when everything is falling apart. And when they realize this, it threatens their entire self-image. If you know you're the one people turn to when things go wrong, type "I see it" in the comments and let's connect. You're not alone in this. Some people don't want to see you succeed. They want to see you need them. They felt safe when you were unsure. They felt powerful when you doubted yourself. They felt relevant when you were confused. But the moment you became self-reliant, their influence over you vanished, and that terrified them. A self-sufficient mind cannot be manipulated. A self-aware soul cannot be controlled. A problem-solving machine cannot be broken by pressure. That's why they tried to slow you down. That's why they tried to distract you. That's why they tried to make you question yourself. But it didn't work. You kept evolving. And now they're watching you from the outside, realizing they lost access to someone unstoppable. If this message is hitting deep, support Mirror of the Soul by subscribing and sharing this with someone who needs the reminder of who they truly are. Who in your life changed once you stopped needing them? While others react to life blindly, you observe, analyze, and predict. You notice small inconsistencies, fleeting expressions, and hidden motives. This is why people can't lie to you easily, even when they try. Your mind connects dots they didn't even know existed, creating solutions before they even understand the problem. It's like having a sixth sense for reality. You can predict conflicts, anticipate challenges, and diffuse tension with surgical precision. And those who underestimate this ability, they watch in silent shock as you navigate chaos like it was pre-written in your favor. This ability isn't just talent, it's discipline. Years of paying attention, reflecting, and learning from mistakes have turned your mind into a living algorithm, a system that operates beyond emotion, beyond bias, beyond limitation. They feel exposed because your clarity threatens their illusions. They try to distract you, manipulate you, or confuse you, but your perception sees through every move. They realize you're untouchable in ways they never expected. While the world panics, you breathe. Where others scream and lash out, you remain grounded. This serenity isn't weakness, it's lethal. It's the kind of calm that exposes chaos for what it truly is. They watch, expecting you to falter, expecting you to crumble, but nothing happens. Your mind doesn't scatter. Your heart doesn't race. You move forward with patience and precision, leaving them bewildered. This is why highly reactive people find your presence unbearable. Your composure highlights their instability. It forces them to face their own inner turbulence, something they've avoided for years. Your calm is a weapon disguised as peace. It shifts the energy in every room you enter. And those who can't handle it, they shrink, they retreat, they panic silently, internally, because they can't compete with mastery. Most people chase validation, approval, and attention. You don't. You move with intention, magnetism, and quiet authority. When you act, the world listens. When you decide, the universe rearranges itself to match your energy. This makes you dangerous to those who thrive on control. They want to be the puppet master, but you are the one holding the strings, even if silently. They wanted to pull you into their game, but you refuse to play by their rules. Every time you say no, every time you choose yourself over their expectations, you redefine power. You show that influence comes not from manipulation but from clarity, purpose, and mastery over oneself. They feel suffocated because they counted on your dependence. But independence is more than freedom, it's your superpower. And they can't stand that they no longer hold sway over you. Pressure breaks most people. You thrive on it. Every high-stakes situation becomes a chance to sharpen your skill, sharpen your mind, and sharpen your strategy. What crushes others builds you. What overwhelms others empowers you. This is why your friends and colleagues may secretly admire you, even if they envy you. They see you thinking clearly when others panic. They see you making the right decisions when everyone else is lost. They see you rise, effortlessly, from the same chaos that would trap them forever. And let's be honest, this makes people uncomfortable. Not because you're arrogant, but because you make them aware of their own lack of mastery. Their eyes widen, their voices tremble, their energy shifts, all because you are operating on a level they can't reach. Pressure is no longer a burden for you. It's a tool, a forge, a proving ground. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to demonstrate that you're not just surviving, you're dominating. Remember the people who doubted you. The ones who whispered behind your back, laughed at your struggles, or thought you'd fail. Their disbelief was fuel for your evolution. Every moment they dismissed you was a moment you grew stronger, smarter, faster. And now, they're staring at a version of you they never anticipated. They're grappling with the reality that you are untouchable, unbreakable, unstoppable. The underestimation that once made you invisible now makes them regretful, insecure, and envious. You didn't need to prove anything, life did. You didn't need to shout, your actions screamed. Every solution you created, every obstacle you overcame, every problem you neutralized was a statement they couldn't ignore. Their regret is not just about missing opportunities with you. It's about realizing that they never saw your potential, never recognized your vision, and never valued your presence. That's why it hits them so hard. They speak before thinking. You think before acting. That difference is seismic. While they're arguing, panicking, or whining, you're calculating, observing, and solving. Their noise is drowned out by the clarity of your mind. This is why they feel anxious around you. You don't react impulsively. You don't fall into traps. You anticipate outcomes, adjust, and pivot, often before they've even finished their sentence. They realize you're operating on a level that makes their chatter meaningless. Your mental agility is a silent force. Every time they try to catch up, they stumble. Every attempt to mislead you fails. They realize the truth. You are not just smart, you are strategic. And when they grasp this, panic sets in. They can no longer control the narrative. You hold the pen now and they are left reading your story. If you've mastered the art of thinking ahead, drop a comment saying, "I see 3 moves ahead." Let's inspire others to sharpen their minds too. What seems impossible to them is routine for you. While others collapse under complexity, you dissect it, understand it, and find a solution. Grace under pressure isn't luck, it's the result of relentless preparation and self-mastery. They stare in disbelief as you turn chaos into order. Their expectations shatter as they realize you can handle more than they ever imagined. And that discomfort, that's their recognition of your power. This is why they can't breathe around you. Your calm dominance exposes their limitations. They feel small not because you meant to shame them, but because you are operating in a dimension they never prepared for. You've trained yourself to see possibilities where others see walls, and every impossible task you solve quietly reinforces the truth. You are not ordinary. You are extraordinary. They lie, you detect it. They hide, you expose it. Your awareness cuts through deception like light through fog. Every manipulation they attempt bounces off you. You sense intentions, motives, and hidden agendas effortlessly. That's why they avoid vulnerability around you. They know their games won't work. They feel uneasy because their mask is visible to you, and masks cannot fool a mind like yours. Your energy doesn't just reveal truth, it demands accountability. People who rely on confusion feel threatened in your presence because clarity terrifies them. They're exposed without even knowing why. They didn't expect someone to see through them, and now they are painfully aware. The power of truth has a way of leaving those who hide in discomfort. Life changes, but you don't break. Challenges evolve, but so do you. You adjust, refine, and strategize while others remain stuck in outdated habits, fear, and excuses. This is why they feel threatened by your presence. They measure themselves against your growth and realize they are being left behind. The fear of irrelevance is a heavy burden, one they never expected to feel around someone they once underestimated. Adaptation is survival, but for you, it's mastery. You don't just keep up, you anticipate, innovate, and lead. Their stagnation is no longer a safe zone for them. Your evolution leaves them scrambling to understand how you keep rising. Every time you evolve, they are reminded of how little they truly control. That discomfort fuels their envy, and yet it silently validates your journey. You don't always need to speak. You don't always need to prove yourself. Sometimes your silence is enough. That stillness is a mirror reflecting their own insecurities back at them. When they try to provoke you, distract you, or manipulate you, they're met with nothing but calm observation. That quiet is heavier than noise because it implies control, understanding, and detachment. They can't touch it, and it unnerves them. Your silence is strategic. It protects your energy, sharpens your focus, and amplifies your presence. And the effect? They're left guessing, unsettled, and most importantly, aware that you are untouchable in ways words cannot describe. People fear what they cannot explain. Your quiet mastery becomes their puzzle, and they cannot solve it. You don't ask for recognition. You don't seek approval. You command respect simply by being yourself, disciplined, self-aware, and relentless. People notice this energy immediately. Those who once tried to control you are left wondering how you always seem one step ahead. Their attempts to dominate are irrelevant. Your presence alone redefines the rules of engagement. Respect comes from mastery. It comes from consistency. It comes from the undeniable truth that you can handle anything thrown at you and remain composed. You don't need their validation because your worth is self-evident. And when they finally see this, they can't help but acknowledge it, even if silently. The awareness of your power hits them in a way they can't ignore, making them respect you even while they fear losing control. Some people are addicted to dependency. They thrive when you need them. They manipulate when you rely on them, but you broke free. You became self-sufficient, autonomous, and unstoppable. Their reaction, confusion, frustration, and yes, a kind of quiet anger. They can't understand why their usual influence over you no longer works. They feel irrelevant, exposed, and powerless, emotions they weren't prepared to face. You don't need them to succeed. You don't need them to validate your path. Your independence amplifies your power and magnifies their discomfort. They are forced to witness your ascent without being able to participate or control it. Every time you thrive without their input, they are reminded of their own limitations. And that realization is heavy. It's sharp. It's unforgettable. You don't brag, you don't boast. Your victories are quiet, undeniable, and profound. They can try to downplay them, minimize them, or deny them, but results are proof, and results cannot be argued with. This is why they feel suffocated. They tried to label you, to contain you, to define your limits. But every success you achieve breaks those boundaries and forces them to face the truth. You are capable, powerful, and unstoppable. Your achievements don't just change your life. They challenge their assumptions. They force people to confront reality, to recognize what they tried to ignore, and to respect what they once dismissed. When action and results speak louder than words, the world cannot help but notice. And those who underestimated you, they can no longer pretend. You watch, you learn, you act. Your understanding of human behavior gives you influence without manipulation. People follow, respond, and adjust to you naturally because you understand them at a level they don't understand themselves. This is your quiet power. While others try to dominate with authority, you guide with insight. You influence without forcing. You inspire without demanding. And those who underestimate this are shocked when they realize you've shaped outcomes without ever raising your voice. Influence born from wisdom is permanent. It doesn't fade with attention or circumstance. And those who fail to see it, they feel powerless and disoriented because your mastery is subtle but undeniable. You are both unstoppable force and unmovable presence. Chaos surrounds you, but you are both the storm and the calm that clears it. Those who doubted you now realize they cannot predict, manipulate, or stop you. You solved problems that should have crushed you. You navigated storms that should have broken you. You rose when others fell. And now they see it, your mastery, your clarity, your unshakable presence. That realization is suffocating for them because they wanted you small. They wanted you dependent. They wanted you contained. But you shattered those expectations effortlessly. You became self-sufficient, wise, and unstoppable. Now they can only watch in disbelief. And that feeling, that is the true power of self-mastery. You don't just survive, you dominate. You don't just lead, you awaken. If this resonates with you, subscribe to Mirror of the Soul, hit the bell, and share this message with someone who needs to realize their own unstoppable potential. How has your journey transformed the way people see you?